presence refers to the ability to project a sense of ease, poise, or self-assurance, especially the quality or manner of a person's bearing before an audience, like the actor had a good deal of stage presence. What Nadao Sensei talks about character. Personal appearance or bearing, especially of a dignified or imposing kind. A person of fine presence. Nadao Sensei will certainly has and will talk about how O Sensei had such a fine presence, such an impression that people got. A person, especially of noteworthy appearance or compelling personality, he or she is a real presence, even at a private party. And then the last definition in the dictionary was a divine or supernatural spirit felt to be presence, as in he felt a presence with him in the room. So these are just dictionary definitions, and you can literally file them away. But we're going to just use this as the slate as people arrive here for the next few minutes until Sensei is ready. So anybody want to talk about this, or what is it? Somebody voted for number 9. Okay, a supernatural or divine spirit. Got a few minutes to kick this around.
Lauren, I think in some ways as a basic would be number 1, just the fact of being present.
Yeah, and it's right from the actual word, and it's at this time,
right
here and now.
So some of the ones you were talking about, I think if somebody was very good and effective at being present, then some of the other things you were talking about with the definitions further down would come out of that.
Right. This is just how people use the word, but I completely agree with you, Bob. Anybody else want to chime in while we wait? We got 25 people logged in.
This is Sassoon.
Yeah.
There is something around there about being presence in embodiment of the moment. Presence, us being human, involves being the difference of some people's idea of present mentally as opposed to embodying the moment is an important difference, as Bill keeps saying. It's an experience, not mental.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, embodying is a really good alternate word, right? So I'm sure Nadao Sensei will emphasize that it's not enough to be aware of this concept. You have to actually do it. To me personally, coming from an academic background, Aikido offered me a chance or a challenge, literally, to take all those concepts and actually do it, right? In real time, in 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional space, and no time to think about the concept of doing it when you're in the moment. So it really ties together, doesn't it?
Yes. I like the embodiment of the moment.
Cool. Anybody else have a favorite phrase?
Well, I might contribute something. we're talking about the moment and time. In a way, presence is out of time. Or in other words, it's not in the aspect of linear time, not this moment, that moment, that moment. It is the timeless now. And I mean that, not to, for it, hopefully it doesn't sound trite, but the timelessness aspect of it, I think, is very important in the subject, as Sensei will bring up tonight. Just wanted to contribute that.
Well, very inscrutable, Roshi. So there's something going on here about time. I think we can all agree. And there's something going on about body, because even the dictionary has in it a concept or an articulation of place, that you can't be present without including both time and place, right? You can't be present nowhere, and you can't be present no time. So it has to do with time, and it has to do with place. And, when I was a youngster, I read Be Here Now. And, few authors have made as good a title as that. And so Nado Sensei, when we talked about the theme for today, he talked about dimensionality here and now, and presence here and now, and how that ties to Easy the Eye, which I suspect ties to the embodiment aspect, as well as to the timelessness of now. So I think that Sensei is about ready, and that's enough for me.
Yes.
And thank you, Sensei, you're on.
I don't see me yet.
Sorry, here we go.
Ah, there he is. This is not an April Fool's joke. It's my program. Maybe it is an April Fool's joke. Anyway, good evening. How are you? Ah,
Good evening.
what?
Good evening.
Are you present? Okay.
Yeah.
Where are we tonight? Presence here and now. I'm liking the word positioning a lot tonight. Okay. But let's chat for a moment. Anything from last week before we get into this? Let's settle. Anything nagging on you? Any insights of the week? Hello out there. Nothing? Out of here?
Sensei, this is Bob.
Hey, Bob.
One thing that stuck with me from last week was that we did some dimensional practices with building the center, in the sense that we started wherever we were starting from, but then you led us through, I think, 3 or 4 rounds of dimensional practice to get fuller and more complete. And I like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think our basic, our basic. Okay. What should we do here? Presence. I think this awareness work studying the finer workings of creation. There's a lot of possibilities of majoring in mental or aware of it. But a very important other piece there is the experience of it. Okay. See, we lay out on Friday nights a lot of diagrams, a lot of concepts, but it's up to you to go, okay, that caught my attention, and to sit with it or stand with it, whatever form you're doing, and to experience it, then settling, easy, opening to get to a finer level of experiencing it. Okay, so that part is very important. So I'll keep reminding you, do something with it.
Sensei,
Yeah.
Chris here from New Zealand. One of the key points that stood out for me last week was the use of the word terrain, which sort of gave that sort of situation, gave it that sort of more texture. It gave it an experience of its own, which helped me bring my center, the terrain, gave it more, I guess, depth, more.
So
It always
those things, terrain, the lay of the land, yeah, the dimensional floor, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So it gave that sort of depth. So when the balance was happening between the center and the terrain, it sort of gave it more. Well, I guess depth is more the word, but it gave it more grunt, I guess, because it had its own character. There's two characters sort of coming together, had its own terrain, had something more than just a situation.
Yeah.
So it really gave me something.
Yeah. Could we say also we use the two forces coming together, the energies of the center, acknowledge the energies of the circle retort back, and the mixing of those two is where I get a character.
Yeah.
Better on the center, the plant, you character. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that word. It's great. Thank you.
And it gives you what's the word? Direction, settle down. It's a little bit deeper. You can't go wrong with that, because our spiritual history is up. Heaven is up there. Okay. And that was good in that up there approach. Many of those beings, many of those people got into finer dimensions on the upward track. Easier through the awareness form to get into finer dimensions. Okay. But now I think, what to say there? We've not overdone it, but enough. Now let's go back to what used to be acknowledged at a certain level in the days of, fairies in the forest. Okay. Ground contact. The old ladies who had good ground contact, who were later burned as witches, unfortunately. So we came out of that, started to major in this more awareness of finer dimensions. Okay. I kind of think, and yeah, it's time now, though, to go back to this other half that we've not paid attention to really for these many hundreds of years, however long it's been. Did I say that okay? Did that catch anybody? Yeah. I think just that is an interesting topic. How were those people, I don't know when, 1400, whatever, experiencing the ground, experiencing their presence on what they call the first level earth, what their sense of the maybe finer levels, the leprechauns that were there, the forest fairies that were there, whatever. How did some of the more sensitive ground people pick up on those things? Just for fun, nothing we have to do, but Good.
Don't.
Oh, I got carried away on something.
Yep. I just
Somebody
wanted to
beating
say,
on their, somebody trying to talk or just beating on their microphone. What are you doing out there?
yeah, I'm talking. Am I talking? Can you hear me?
Your voice is muffled, Sean.
Okay, sorry. I'll get that.
Speak up, Sean. Speak up.
Okay, so I remember hearing how in like around the 1400s, a shoemaker could look at a cart of leather and instantly give the guy a price on the leather because he knew just by looking at it, having a sense how many shoes that could make or how many vests that could make or whatever he was. And just about any tradesperson could look at the raw goods and have a innate sense of what it's worth.
Yeah. So again, I think the critical word there was innate sense.
Yes.
That's something that just a viewer may not have. So they're the ones, you got to measure that for me. You got to weigh it. I have to double check and make sure I can make 20 pairs of shoes out of that. That there's a certain level where they were sensing things a bit different. It sounds like you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. No calculations required. It was a knack.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so where the hell are we going to hear tonight? Oh God. Okay, easy the eye. Let's use this one here. Something like the early in the beginnings of creation, went out and back, but it also went into heavier. Okay. And we got caught up in that heavier. So we ended up here as a human being, and some heavier than others were. And we sort of got stuck. I'm a human being. This is all that is. I'm a Bobby. There's nothing more. Okay. So the eye has locked into that level. So easy the eye type of letting go, easy. Easy the eye. Let go of what you're hanging on to. Easy. Easy. In that letting go easy, there's a sense of, for me, opening. For me right now, as if there's a little more room. It just feels like my rib cage opened a bit. There's a little more room. It feels like I'm breathing a little fuller. Easy the eye, easy. Okay, now it's getting anxious. But where am I going? What am I looking for? Hush, hush. Let's see. Easy the eye, easy. It's okay, easy. Easy. I could say, enjoy the rest here. Easy, it's okay. Easy the eye. Easy the eye. Again, that feeling of more room, circular. Soft sense of deeper. Yeah. A little anxiety building up. Easy, it's okay. So why don't people continue on easy the eye to finer and finer and finer and finer and finer? Because like I just experienced, they feel that anxiety and they believe it. They don't know what to do with it. And so they freeze there or go back into upper where there wasn't that anxiety. Okay. So easy the eye, easy the eye. Don't know where I'm going yet, but anything on easy the eye? When you easy the eye, what happens? Easy the eye. What is your experience experience of easy the eye.
Sensei Bob, again, one thing you also mentioned last week was that little patch of dark. And when the eye touches that dark, if you know what it is, you can use it to get even easier. If you don't know what it is, then you clam up.
You're gonna stop right there. You're probably going to either stop there at that level, or you're even going to climb up a little higher to stay away from the dark and that little nans that you may sense are there. Okay. Oh yeah. We'll talk about the dark after a bit, but yeah. The dark, again, is something that happens when you go from, let's say major dimension jumps. When you go from wherever to the next level, you might bump into some dark. You may not catch it at first as dark. It just may be an emptiness, or it may be, gee, I don't know what's going on. What's happening? Where am I? Why am I? But after a bit, you begin to quite likely pick up that same gap, moving from level to level as a type of dark, downtime dark. Okay, so if you don't experience dark at the first weird Bobby to Robert to Mr. Robert to a better Robert, it's okay. But there is a little gap there, a little something. If you really fine tune, you can pick it up. Let me give you a dumb example you're doing right now. Easy at this level, settling, and this smaller level, this level. I'm gonna easy to the next level. Okay, for me, it's a little quiet and empty. It's like there's nothing on my screen, so to speak. Empty. Okay. So see, I wouldn't call that empty a dark, but that's probably what it's related to. As I continue, then I'll run into dark as the go between trick, go between happening. Are we diverging onto something else here? Am I losing me and you? Where are we?
Sensei, this is Tisha, if I may. I want to concur what Noah said. And then also just I think more directly in relationship to your question, or directly related to your question, easy the eye allows you to begin to let go of that sense of identity that you were talking about.
Yeah.
You're one by, you're two by, whatever example we're using there.
Yeah.
So that starts to let go. You start to be comfortable with as you rest into the presence of that transition that you're in. So it's exactly as Bob was saying, as Noah was saying. It's just a little different approach in language.
Yeah. So again, in a transition to another level or dimension, whatever you want to call that, there is something that you're passing through or will notice that we call the dark. Okay. But again, I'm just trying to present, you may not notice it at first as dark. It just may be I don't know, or unclarity, or nothing seems to be going on here kind of thing. But there is a transitional membrane, transitional border that you all pass through. You might have all kinds of different words for it, but if you really fine tune, you'll pick it up. Okay.
Yeah. And on the fine side, it is that letting go. I think there's even a kind of purposeful or conscious letting go.
Yeah. The dumb example, Brad. The dumb example I used to use a bit, and I thought was kind of classical human being. Let me move this glass for it. Spill it. Brad. Other. I would present it in class as an example. you're really pissed off at that guy. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, son of a bitch, that's what he's saying, okay? And I go, hey, man, come on, no. He wants to punch him out. No, easy, it's okay. He's just an asshole, don't worry about him, easy. Come on, Brad, easy, come on, no, stop it. We only got an hour on the show. Easy, easy, come on, do what I'm telling you. Easy, Brad, easy. You begin to breathe. You begin to settle a bit. And soon he'll go, you're right. Why am I worried about that asshole? And he'll stop wanting to punch him out and he'll walk away in disgust maybe, but he's changed levels. So that's all I've been trying to do. And that's what you do with your buddy. When he wants to go punch somebody out, say, oh, wait a minute. No, don't worry about it. No, it's okay, man. Come on, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Thank you. You want to overplay. And to let you know, I'm up on current events. We needed such a person at the Hollywood thing.
The Oscars. Just to let you know, I'm up on things. I pay attention to what's going on out there. Where the hell are we? I'm all over the place tonight, huh? So easy the eye. The eye is ongoing. The word will change and will, at a certain level, call it a self. So I smaller, yeah, arbitrary, words I made up, I. Next level's an I. Next one, probably an I. Easy the I at that, easy. Soon, eventually, around the fourth level, arbitrary, around the fourth level, let's say you're doing a 1 by, 2 by, 3 by. After the 3 by, easy the I, the good possibility, some of you say, wait, this still has a bigger sense to it. Self. Is that okay? Then we add things to it like a finer self to continue moving along through levels, a more original self. Later, I'll add on even another word there, but not tonight. But you see that, it's ongoing. Self and fancy self, advanced self, finer self, eventually is your original consciousness. So I is hooked into this fantastically big piece of creation, consciousness, your consciousness, okay? And as we easy the I, you're heading back potentially towards that, okay? But at first, we're going through a fair amount of heaviness. And the heaviness gets lighter and lighter and lighter. The energies will show finer and finer vibration rates, okay? But these first human levels can be really heavy. That guy's an animal, and you mean it, he's an animal, you know? So we unwind the heavy covering. See here, it's heavier. As you continue, it's finer. As you continue, it's thread-like. It's not heavy hawser, H-A-W-S-E-R, rope. Yes.
So as we easy the I, we're untwining, unwinding. The heaviness is unwinding as we do that. Easy. It's unwinding going on. In the unwinding is an opening. In the opening is a finer sense of things. In that finer space is a finer center plant character. And that's our map. Okay. I said a lot in that long sentence. Where are we? Easy the eye, self. Eventually a more original self, eventually a more original consciousness self. Woo, fancy.
Sensei, Chris here from New Zealand again. The my initial sort of relaxing as we start to get present is that you always describe it as the running the company, and you're relieved not to be running the company. It's a family. That's saying. So I always have that.
Hang on a sec.
Running the company?
Okay.
Yeah, that old.
Slow your words down for me.
Sure.
I haven't learned your language yet. Sorry.
I always have the experience of relief, which reminds me of your saying that it's the son that has to run the family business and doesn't then realizes he doesn't have to run that business. When I starts to relax, it's a relief, almost shifting into that space. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. If it's not his job, if he's not that kind of plant, doesn't matter if mommy's a rose and daddy's a rose and Uncle Joe's a rose. If you're not a rose, you probably don't want to get involved in the family business. Okay. So when you realize you don't have to, or they realize you can't, and they say, go ye and do your own thing, son. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Because you're hanging on to something that is horrible, really wasn't you. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that initial feelings, that's that when that becoming present, it's like, oh yeah, that's it. It's a giant relief to start moving into that space.
And following that pattern of, I don't know, the essential you, a lot of people don't know who they are. They're not sure. They're doing certain jobs and they're sort of successful, but they're not sure. You probably won't be able to figure it out at the level you're at. Easy the eye and open, because the energies of the circle terrain, and therefore the energies better moving up and down the center character plant at better levels, that's you. And it'll be clearer what you should do, kind of thing. So I know a lot of people have had that question and they're not sure if their job, or if they're on the right mission. That's too big a word for me here. If they're doing the right job. I don't know if you'll be able to figure it out. My family was a little perturbed when I left the police force, because my working class family, man, you got a guaranteed job, you got retirement, you got all this shit. It wasn't me. It was a lark. I'm not a cop, you know. It was interesting at the times. I learned some streetsy stuff and all, learned a bit about people a certain way, but it wasn't me. If I took an interest test, I would just average out on that. I'd be, if you had an average score for people that probably aren't cops, I was at that level. It wasn't me. So it was easy for me to let go of it. But some of the older family members were like, why did you do that? Was that a smart move? Anyway, as you settle and open, trust the energies of the system you're in, of the potted plant you're in, that your nutrients are there. You're in your potted plant. And as you settle and open and get to finer levels of soil nutrients, that along with this and this along with that, things ought to clarify. More and more, potentially, things will be offered to you. Okay. Did I say that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Okay. I'm on a bit of a tangent of odds and ends tonight. Where are we? Okay, so easy the eye is important. As we do that, be prepared for, at these different floors, levels, dimensions, whatever word is comfortable for you, but you have to sense of that. It's a finer vibratory space. Okay. That there's a certain pattern or positioning that in the finer space, there is the center and there is the circle. There is a terrain vibrating at a certain, and there is the character. Okay. All right. And you want to continue with that. What might throw that off? And when it goes finer, you continue with that same pattern. So you've got an ongoing pattern. You don't lose your positioning, finer and finer and finer towards this eventual origin, this eventual source with a capital S. We're heading back to the more original, is the long range journey. Okay, the long range journey. Okay. That you've got an ongoing pattern that will properly line you up to that. One thing that throws us is often you hit a finer level and it's humming so fine, it's vibing so fine. It's wow, it's bright, it's beautiful, it's whatever. Just the sense of, can you sense wow? And because of that wow, I think there's a tendency of wow, and forget, wait a minute, yes, this is the terrain. Now, let me experience the center. Now, terrain and center, and who's the character? There's a character at that level. Okay. That might be one reason why we lose a good pattern, whether it's the addition sign pattern. You remember him, don't you? There he is. The addition sign pattern. Brent, could you for me? The addition sign pattern might be, I'm thinking a lot of the awareness, when you first move into a better dimension, at first you're aware. As you hang out, you're aware and you're feeling a bit. Therefore, you think you're experiencing, not good enough for me, but you feel the something from it. And you call that experience. Not yet. Okay. We need much more of a deeper, fuller center. Okay. Now that begins to be the experience, actually. Okay. So I don't want to get lost here. Anyway, I think I'm just saying that the wow factor, because it's finer or more beautiful or brighter or bigger or whatever, that for some reason people seem to forget the pattern. So establish your pattern very early in the game. As soon as you stand up, establish your pattern. Okay. In fact, let's do one for a moment. Bah. Bah. I want to see my feet. Okay. Okay. I'm just the beginning of doing something. Okay. First, be present. Okay. Now I know I'm here. Okay, fine. Now the beginnings of feeling here. I'm feeling more of my body. Being present. For example, I'm noticing almost a balance between my left and right sides. It's not fantastic, but it is trying to balance. I can feel that, feel that. I feel my feet more fully touching the floor. I got flat feet, that may make it easier. Okay. So positioning in that first level, here and now. Positioning. Okay. And positioning at this level, there's a certain amount of circle here. Easy. Trying to sense, feel it. There's a circle here. Okay. In the middle of this body, there's a center tube, center rod, center something. There's a center. This feels like a what? Bobby level? No, I'm past that. Robert level? At least a Robert level. If I had to use the 1x, 2x, 3x, it's not a 1x, that guy's 2x. Not a 3x, but in the vicinity of 2x. So my character is a 2x or a Robert. There's a center and there is a circle. Energies move out and in or in and out. And this comes more alive. Everything here comes more alive. Shows the more aliveness of itself. Okay, so there's a pretty good construct. What's our word tonight? Positioning. This is a good position. Now, if I were to go finer, inner finer, dimensional, inner finer, dimensional, I want to retain that positioning, that makeup, center, circle, character. Okay? It goes out and it comes in. Ba-doom, ba-dang, okay? I hope I said something intelligent there. Camera, thank you. I'm bouncing around a bit. Did you get anything out of that? Brad, did you get anything out of it?
Yeah, so my question then is, so there's circle, center, character, so there's presence with that, tying back into the theme tonight.
Yeah, you're okay. Now be careful of the words. Present with that could be, I'm aware of that, I see that. And that's not good enough for me. That's the awareness of it. Are you breathing it? Are you feeling it? Is your body actually straightening up? Is there a feeling of a little fuller? Okay, not an idea about it, not a picture up here about it. Now we're into the experience of it. I'm not anti-imaging or pictures or knowledge, believe it or not. I'm saying, yes, great, but that's half. And what pisses me off is when people try to make that everything. Because they have such a good image of things and they're feeling a little bop from it. And so they are centered. Circle people are centered, but they're not heavy duty centered. Okay, so circle people have to learn to work to center a bit better. And centered majors, Miyano Sensei, centered majors have to catch on to how the circle works. Okay. Sensei had a sense of it when he was working strongly on his center. He was aware of it. He was showing a bit, of course. But he didn't know the full extent of it, the fullness of circle. Okay, that's where Deguchi came into the picture. Because Sensei by that time had a damn good center. And again, was aware of a certain amount of circle activity, but not to the degree of circle equal to the center and center improving, better the circle, better the center, finer the dimension, moving along towards a source, finer and finer and finer. Did I say anything clearly? Oh, Brad, did we get to your comment question?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your question?
Well, just saying how presence ties in. So maybe if we're more present, then the circle, the center, and the character, they show, it's easier, it's clearer.
Yeah. I would say you'll move through. Well, here, let's lose this guy. So that's what we did. We did this. Yeah, we did this red guy a minute ago. Okay, and we had a sort of a fullness with him, right? Yeah. Now, as you move into the next dimension, the next level, then there that made up this guy will make up that beingness, that grouping. Now, after a bit, it won't be a physical body. It'll be an energy body. It'll be a field body. Okay, so you can't keep hanging on the physical body because as you get finer and finer and finer, you're past heavy physical vibrations. You're into finer vibrations. You sense, okay, physical field, finer and finer. You sense feel. Finer than that, you're sensing all of this. Okay, a type of feeling, but it's a sense, very fine sense feeling. We mapped that out once on a Friday night, and on and on and on. Ugh. Where the hell am I? Where are you? Where are we?
Sensei, this is Lauren. I wonder if you could explain why the diagram in the lower right is,
This guy?
yes, why it, depending upon how you look at it, it's either opening or closing. And that is, it's not two parallel lines, but they're broader at the bottom than they are at the top.
That infers the finer, that infers this. This is the same thing. It's just how you want to look at it. Okay. So broader infers you're moving into finer territory. When I sit and I start here, let's say, and I go through a long process of click, 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 I'm going through that. Okay. Hopefully on a good session, I get to this level. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. I start here. Now, if I do a good job, I go click, 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 and get to a finer. Watch out for the sense of bigger. There'll be a sense of bigger, but don't go into bigger. You'll get lost. Okay. Keep your grouping. Keep your centered circle within reason. Okay. Anyway, Lauren, that's the same as that. It's just a different angle on it.
Uh-huh.
If I need a new word, help me with a different word.
No,
Yeah.
Thank you. That helps a lot.
Yeah. You see, I don't know what the accident was exactly, but in the beginning of the layout of creation, let me say it simply as I can right now, you were consciousness. You were aware and you were experiencing yourself just as consciousness. I call that the piece of glass. I might have called it saran wrap. Okay, clear. Now you get a creation, boom, bang. And it creates very fine vibes and lesser fine vibes and heavier vibes, all the way to heavier matter. Okay, somehow or other, we lost touch. We didn't hold ourselves as a fullness of self, consciousness, whatever. And we spun a bit. And we spun into that tighter. Now I'm in the human condition. Okay, if we could, I'd make a joke. If we could have spun tighter, we would have ended up being rocks. A joke that's not really a joke. So we're stuck here in this tight place, okay, believing this is it. If we unwind and open and settle and do a proper process, the reality of the finer of things will show, and the reality of a more original potential. This is big time. The original of this, the beginnings of creation, the source of creation. Since they called it one, he liked the word source. That's a potential, but that's the goalpost. I call it also a goalpost. Yeah, that's a goalpost. Now forget about it. We're on the whatever yard line. Let's do our best at here so we can move on to the next whatever yard line. So let's not talk about goalposts as if we're going to be there tomorrow or in the next 3 minutes. goalpost is, yeah, eventually, people, eventually, but let's do a proper to facilitate our travel, whatever the word is, to that level. All I can say is one click is better than none. Okay? A Robert is so much better than Weird Bobby. A Nadeau is really so much better than Weird Bobby. So even those moves that we're doing in the manifest sort of represents a heavier of creation, but as we move, we get into the lighter parts of it. Those are worth doing as a human being. You want to stay in your, I don't think so. You kind of know it should be better. You have a sense of it should be better. That's the self trying to call out to you, hey, it's better, but you got to let go of that and return back to yourself. Okay. I think I just gave you the whole layout of creation in 10 words or less. Who asked something? Was that you, Lauren? Did I answer anything for you then?
You did, Sensei, very much so. And as I hear you today talk about letting go of the tight self, the part that says walks down the street saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is what I do. I personally, we talk about these exercises and as travel vehicles, but as you know, I like you, I traveled to Japan as a young man, and one of the things I believe happened to me living in a foreign country is that I let go of my self-image of myself.
Yes. Yeah.
Which was a combination of my parents' expectations of me, right? And my own, like, this is what I like to eat.
Yeah, this is what a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. Let me jump in on one before I forget. So I tell the story sometimes of I moved from back east to Redwood City, California. So I went to high school in Redwood City, California. I did some work for a little bit and I joined the police force, Redwood City, California. Got my paycheck from the city of Redwood City, California. Now, finally, I get on the ship to go to Japan. Okay, and I've already started to let go of being a cop and all of that, and let go of living in Redwood City. But it really hits me when people would say, where are you from? And I would say, Redwood City. And they'd go, where? And even some of them, they're from all over the world. I'd say, California. And they'd say, where? So Redwood City was my everything. And suddenly to realize it wasn't to other people. I'm sure if I had said Redwood City in Japan, the Japanese would have went, what? Where? Huh? Doesn't mean anything. That meant so much to me. So yes, I'm agreeing with what he said.
Yeah. And so the travel vehicles, we talk about them as travel vehicles to other dimensions. And I think it shares exactly this idea of letting go of your self-image, of your self-expectation, or what you think you are, or who you think you are, in order to experience the life in a foreign country or life in another dimension. So thank you, Sensei.
Yeah, one of my early insights was realizing, because I was doing a type of whatever letting go I was doing back in the day, that I really didn't know. I realized I didn't know who I was. So I came to terms with it. Okay, this is who I'll be today, but I really don't know who I am. So tomorrow when I we'll see who I am then. But I knew not to lock in on my experience of the day, even though I was in a meditation format, not to lock in on it, because I really didn't more fully know who I was. So I was prepared to let go of that one easily, effortlessly, to move into the next one and not glom on to that one either. Okay. Yeah. So so that's what I called not knowing who I was and being okay with it, because there'd be something a bit better. Let go of Bobby, so Robert will be there. Let go of Robert Nadeau's there. Let go of him, and whoa, start to get fancy. Mr. Energy Awareness guy is here. Boom, boom, and on and on and on. So that doesn't get. It should get easier for you. Okay, should get easier for you as you progress a little bit. The first few are. I'll take your time there and go through those, but I want you to get the sense of click, click, click. You're beginning to be on your way. Continue the click, but it should be finer and easier and whatever and better and all of that stuff. Okay, it can't get worse. Okay, not really. You might bump into something you don't understand and it confuses you or something, but by law, it can only be finer. It's the vibrational law. Okay, so it doesn't go from thick to lighter and lighter and lighter and suddenly thick again. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Help me here. Where are we? Positioning, internal positioning.
Perhaps, Sensei, you can go back to the words that we started with tonight, which is presence here and now.
Okay. Okay, presence here and now. Could I use the word properly? Okay. Feel yourself. Acknowledge center in a circle. Acknowledge you're a character, or there's a character there. Okay. Then when you dimensionally move into a finer level, easy, the eye facilitates. Easy, let go of that. Easy, you're in new terrain at first. It's not clear. Remember when you move from a 2x into a 3x? The 3x wasn't instantly clear, and there you were. Okay. I believe for a lot of you, there's probably an emptiness, nothing really showing. It's easy. It's okay. You're someplace. Don't panic. And then after a little bit, there's a center here. There's a circle. They're kind of energy vibrations or nutrients. I feel better here. I'm a 3x3er. Trying to facilitate the movement properly. Okay. If you just do awareness into finer, you can see more, but after a bit, you won't be able to see finer. So that may stop you. Okay. You need its partner, aware experience, experiencing aware. You need both of those. You want to call them center and circle? You need both of those. Okay, I like kind of an idea. Experience. Okay. I try to show you the dumb stuff over and over, because within the dumb, simple stuff is good basics. I have an idea. I would like to stand better, whatever standing better means. I would like to stand better. Okay. Now I have enough experience enough. I try to stand better with my idea. I ain't going to make it. I wasn't really making that up. That was for true. I'd like to stand better. Now its partner, its counterpart, underworld mixes nutrients. Oh, they're alive and they're moving up and down all around, especially inner. And wait, and I'm picking the beat, and this beat, there we go. So I just showed you an idea to its partner, and to do it properly, that should be a very simple kindergarten practice, but important because its basics are true and will forever be true. Okay. But I know the world is more beautiful. That's nice. You ain't got enough. Let the world at that beautiful level show itself. Let the energy show. Let the nutrient show. Let the kami show. Let the schmooze show. Okay, and make sure you're inhaling them if you would. Make sure you have a centered character there. Okay, and that one will move beautifully. Its voice will be beautiful. Its presence will be beautiful, because it's this inner reality that's manifesting out so strong, even the neighbors pick it up, unless they're real dumb. Okay. People can really be thick, and you can have somebody who's really kind of whatever, the internal, finer, glowing, and they won't pick it up. I'm sure a lot of people in Christ walked down the street, said, "Who the hell is that?" And somebody said, "That's the carpenter's kid." Oh, yeah, okay. Others were, "Whoa, who's that?" Okay. It's in the eye of the beholder. The heavies have trouble sensing these finer things. Don't expect too much from them sometimes. They don't have eyes to see. If your finer vibration mix yourself, you'll pick that up a bit better. And the finer ones will catch, oh, that's a finer one. Oh, yeah. All right. Is that a good example? A repeat example? So these inner, finer dimensions have a particular grouping, center circle, character, or we'll call it a potted plant. It's a finer pot, okay? Let's call it a little bit bigger pot. And in the bigger pot is more soil. And in the more soil are more better nutrients. Okay. And the plant takes advantage of those nutrients and becomes a better plant character. Okay. A guy who's more comfortable in his world. A guy who's more natural in his world. Okay. And I, we kind of try to present that is that if you're more centered, the activity that's going around you, you'll be able to cope with it smoother and whatever. Now, instead of doing the internal work, I said, well, let me go out there and see how to do it smoother. No, son of a bitch. Not out there doing it smoother. Get smoother in here and see how Mr. in here wants to do that. Not now I'm going to go out there and do it smoother. You just misunderstood something. Okay. Is that kind of clear? Anyway, I was just talking to Brad before session. I say, we have to try to stretch it out in class. We're a little clearer on the inner and then some of the outer, and a little clearer on the inner, and then a couple of minutes with the outer, but back to the inner, so that the distinction, the clarity of how it works, inner manifests better outer. I'm sorry, I can't say it any better. I know it's the same thing I've been saying since forever, but we forget. We have to be reminded to move on, because some people are a little bit, we'll get to a nice place and stop there. It's like, yeah, but if you're interested, there's nicer than nice. Let's continue if you've a mind to. I can't force you. I can only attract those who have a sense, inner self sense. There's more, okay? Even when I was a teenager, I had some sense. I didn't, not a very clear sense, but I'd look around at the world and say, shit, is this it? If this is it, what I see and experience and stuff, I almost don't give a shit. It just didn't interest me that much. That was almost a beginning of my quest. Because I had some inner calling. Inner calling. Yeah. Oh, since I couldn't stop processing, doing the work, continuing, because his call was so strong. Because it was strong, the energy forces would beat on him and say, "Hey, wake up, there's more." He didn't have any choice. He said he was under pressure all the time. And that's a negative way of saying it. But the forces were saying, "Hey, there's more." Okay. You have to use the word pressure, probably not a good word for you people. But just that, oh, there's more. Settle down. Open up to the more. Let the more. Who am I now at this level? Kind of thing. Okay. Now, a few tricks on this opening. We mentioned the underworld part of it is not known well. Again, this upper part, easier, awareness, The underworld is not known well. So we're trying to bring that out because it's hard to move dimensionally fully if you won't have your center plant get rooted or realize there is a root there. And part of intaking the energies from the circle pot to the plant, better, deeper roots. Call that slurpee. Slurpee. And the plant is getting enhanced. Boom. So we have to contend with that, the unknown underhalf, unfortunately. But tried to tell some stories. But again, you have to sit with it. If you sit and you're sitting on shit, you have to continue to sit on the shit and easy, open. Now, who the hell wants to open to more shit? But that's what I'd ask you to do. Open with the sense of you've already heard it's good stuff, so bear with it. I opened under duress because I was in, quote, a meditation thing. I entered my meditation room. I sat on my pillow. And so when it got weird like that, it was like, whoa, that's weird. But I'm sitting here to meditate. Therefore, it's okay somehow or t'other. Okay. And then I tell you the snake story, snake pit story. Okay. Shit will become fertilizer. Better fertilizer, nutrients, better than that, life-giving. Boom, bada bang, and a boom, bada bang. Ah, he's bigger than life. Yes. I'm all over the place tonight. Say something.
Sensei, this is Justin. A word that guides me is available. As I'm going through an easy the eye and a settling, unraveling process, I sense more availability for the obvious and the things that are not obvious. The nutrients that are available to me are identified, absorbed. I can soak in them.
What could I jump in there and say, wow, this is fantastic, people. What a gift. The more is here and now. Don't go anywhere. It's internal, finer dimensions, my words. And there's more there. Whatever you need is available. That's the pot and plant that you set up. All of you, that you set up. And it's available. We sometimes make it a lot of work. We approach it like work. But real soon you ought to catch it. And it's not that much work. Easy. Settle. Find your dimension. Boom. I give it that fast thing. I'm already at a better level. I can feel the terrain. It's like, whoa, this is nice shit here. Nice stuff. Hey, and there's more. I'm kind of lazy, so I just hit a little bit on my own. I would go deeper with it. Hey, but it shouldn't be a lot of hard work. Don't pick up your pick and try to dig through the clay, thick dirt with the rocks in there. That's dumb. That's dumb. Realize these are easy to pass through after a bit. That doesn't mean, oh, let me imagine I'm passing through. There I am. I'm in a very fine dimension and I'm a beautiful person. Okay, I got it. You got shit. You got nothing.
Yeah, I would say like it's on the flip side of that. You're letting go, but also there's something coming back. We're not just letting go. There's a availability. Something's coming in too.
It beats. It beats.
Exactly.
Center to the circle,
Unwinding,
circle to
but there's
the
something
center.
coming back as well. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. I'm here at this level. Hey, out there. I'm a center type. Hey, out there. What's here for me? And that stuff from the circle feeds in, and I ingest it through the center character plant. Oh, thank you. Yes, I feel a little fuller. I feel a little happier. I feel a little stronger. I feel a little smarter. Oh, thank you. Yes. There's more. Hit it again. So that pump is like, if there's an exercise that we should do forever and a day, no matter what dimension you're in, it's center to the circle. Boom, 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 boom. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. You can go the whole distance with that. Finer and finer and finer and finer and finer and finer. The whole distance, all the way up to the goalpost. Okay. And any one level is better than the previous level. Well, Robert is a hell of a lot better than Bobby. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Living in a 2x2 world is a lot better than, you remember your 1x? Scrunch in a bit, 1x world. Yeah, it's like you're afraid to go outside. You wouldn't pick up the phone, you don't want to be bothered. You can't take the responsibility or the pressure. 2x, a bit better. 3x, hey, not bad, not bad. Bad day, fair day, good day. Same pattern, just change the words, but it's the same. Okay. That movement from one boom through the whole can get faster and faster and faster. That doesn't mean use your idea that way. Experientially, hey, faster. Okay. So get a clear experience, whatever, with the first few levels, the 1 to a 2 to a 3. You're on your way. You got the basics there. Bobby to Robert Nadeau. You're on your way. You got the basics there. Okay. Bad day, fair day, good day. You're on your way. You've got the basics. The basics won't change. You got the basics. Make sure your basics to start with are good. That's what we try to do standing. Present. Reference a center circle, circle center. Reference there's a character there. A plant. Okay. Experience it for a moment, some moments. Okay. Then let's move on. Easy the eye, and you're moving into the next set. Okay. So do them properly, 1, 2, 3. And later, you'll get very fast at it. I just literally the word fast because let me think about that. I'll be able to do it fast in my mind. I don't mean that. I mean actual. Hey, we're actually stronger. Actually have a little power. Actual, not the idea of it. Boom, actual. Don't mind me, I'm a macho type, so I show it that way. But I could be more loving. I could be prettier. I'd have to work on that one. Yes, there it is. Okay, but boom. So, but do right with your starting place and the next couple to make sure your form is good. form. If you don't have good starting form, generally in physical activity, we don't want to do an advance move when we don't have a decent form to begin with. Okay? Something like that. If you don't have good form picking up a 20-pound barbell, why should we ask you to try for the 100-pound barbell? You're going to hurt yourself. It's not going to work right. Okay. So get your good form. Get your good form. And we want to move into, quote, heavier, good form into the heavier. You don't lose your basics. Blah, blah, blah. Same old story, people, but I think we have to keep reminding ourselves and clarifying any little misunderstandings, anything that can facilitate the potential smoothness of this, wow, this is fun. Wow, who, as Florida was saying, Justin, as Justin was saying, wow, there's something there and it's available. Right, Justin? Basically what you're saying. Wow, what a gift. Wow. Wow. Again, one of my big exciting insights was nicer in whatever form it was showing back in the day was there. And if I went out a little further or got a little tighter, and I used to practice. So I mentioned in Tokyo, go get drunk, which was easy to do with the boys then. And I'd come home and sit to meditate. And I could get to that same, quote, nice place, that level. I had established a certain level there that I used for reference, that place. But because I had come in from being drunk, it took me a little bit longer. Okay. To get there. But lo and behold, it was there. It didn't say, we don't let drunks in here. Sorry. Not you. You're a drunk. It was there. Then I tried it with, I'm finding myself pissed off now and then. And doing the same thing. I'm pissed off. Let me sit. And I'd be sitting, being still pissed off a bit. And then eventually it'd be easy. And whoa, all of that internal nicer was there. But it took me a little bit longer because I was still bitching. It was there. Wow, that was wow to me. I remember I was brought up Catholic. You screw up, that's it for you, kid. Purgatory, here you go. I know it took a little bit longer, but it was there. I could soak in it. I could feel it. I could whatever. It was there. Holy shit, people, that's exciting. That's exciting. I mean, what are we doing to ourselves? I'm a bad person. I'm this, I'm that. Hey, I present myself as an asshole. I do that truly and purposefully. You can be an asshole and catch a couple of tricks here. Easy, settle, open, blah, 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 blah. And niceness. Strength, wisdom, whatever you need is there. The schmooze are there for you. The nutrients are there. And they're proper because they're nutrients for the plant that you chose. You chose all of this. And you don't remember when you're a Bobby, but as you settle in open, the nutrients will help the plant to get better. And between the two of them, there'll be a better sense of what kind of plant you should be, what you should be doing. I said some good stuff. I know, I said some good stuff there someplace. Oh my God, we ate up time. Somebody, mic's open. Need any clarity on this gobbledygook here?
Sensei Bob here.
Hey, Bob.
One thing that takes some of the work out of it, as you were saying, and also Justin is the self more is reaching for you, even as you're reaching for at the level you're starting at, as you are reaching for it.
I'm sorry. So are you saying reaching is good, reaching is bad, reaching what? I'm sorry, I missed
I
something.
don't know what the word is, but reaching is good in this case. In other words, the more original dimension of consciousness that you are is reaching toward you, the lesser level, even as the lesser level is reaching to it. So it isn't just one direction in that sense.
Bob, I'm just leery on the word reaching, the way people
Okay.
do it. Okay. When
Yeah,
they
find-
reach
find
for
that
something, it's like an idea for something they're reaching for.
Right.
If you square away, centers, that what we did, standing, square away. Easy the eye for the next level. It's there. The next level is there. You don't have to reach for it. I'm just leery of the word people reach, and they'll get mental and reach for something. That's, I'm worried. We're going to have a session one time on passing over because so many of you are getting older. And I'm going to present a couple of tricks. I told you before, I'm not an expert on that, but I track a couple of people. Anyway, I'll get into it when we get into that subject. Anyway, I'm just leery of the word reach because of what people do with that word, but you got the sense here. Thank you. Finishing up, people. Anybody got anything?
Sensei, it's Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Sensei. At camp, I always enjoyed when you shared your process of sound as a vehicle for opening up and creating character. And I know it's getting late, but I thought if you could just say something about that.
Yeah, I never know how sound is going to come across. I love group chants, but we can't do it on whatever.
Right.
Yeah, basically, I think I did one here, a simple form let's say, I'm just making this up. You can do whatever form you want, but the center is an A. The circle is an O. Okay. Because I tend to start with center first. Oh, I have a sense of the ah is touching the O and saying, hey, hey, hey. Okay. The O felt that, request that touch from the center and said, oh, okay. And it comes back. Oh. Now it's coming back with the nutrients. So the center ah is the plant in need. It says, hey, I'd like to be healthier. The O heard them, their partners, responds with O, which are vibrations at the level we're at. The ah is affected, the center stalk plant is affected. Feels a little bit better, but it could be better. And it sends that out with the next. The O felt that, says, oh, he wants more. He's my partner. Oh. Now, I don't know how it came across on there, but the ah sounded a bit better. I don't know, longer, a little clearer. Maybe just I could hear it. I don't know if you could hear it over that. The O was definitely a better O. Also, the O was a little clearer on, a little bit deeper to the roots. And then from the roots, the plant intakes the nourishment that the O provided. And it's starting to feel better in some form. Okay, so I use, and then we can pick up the sounds and do different ones. Sensei had one that I was kind of like, See, for me, I use ya. Ya, you, yeah, yo. Circle hears it, responds it, and she responds, ma, mi, mu, me, mo. I like that ya, ye to the mommy. And that's the way I approach it, that it's responding in kind. Is that an okay way of saying it? Yeah, 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 yeah. And it responds in kind. Mommy, mu, memo. Okay. All right. So it's that same pattern, just a little more extended. And there'd be and bigger versions. Kind of longer chants, something that are going out, and a response from the circle back to this character, plant, center. Yeah, so there's an ongoing exercise. It's that beat. It's that beat. Okay.
Feels like a breath. And I
You could do it breathing form.
Yeah.
But the same thing again. Don't forget that centered stalk. Breathing form would have a tendency of it exhales and it inhales. And a bit of it's out there. And then you say, oh, I'm breathing deeper at first. Okay. And then you say, oh my God, something breathed through me. Okay. Now there are finer levels of breathing where you get that sense of it. Breathe, breath, breathe. It breathed through you. Yeah. But don't forget to check. Okay, at this level, say the breathing level feels very nicely balanced. Don't forget, but now double check the center. Center, who's the character here? Yeah, don't forget that part of it. Yeah. You see? See, the two beats in that case are like parents. Who's the kid in town? Who's the character? Yeah. Yeah. And that goes all the way along. Oh, Sensei had a character, even as it was getting finer and finer. Uyeshiba of Aikido. That was a character at a certain level of Aikido. Didn't mean the dojo Aikido. That was his, he used Aikido to mean how the universe works. He was Uyeshiba of the universal beat of things. That's what he meant. Okay, he didn't mean of the dojo Aikido. But yeah, don't forget that centered part, because you need to, I don't know what to say, be involved. I don't know the right word there. Be involved. Be a character. Be somebody. I don't know. Didn't Jesus eventually become Jesus the Christ? I'm not Christian enough to know the history of certain words and whatever, but yeah, there's a little kid, his name is Jesus. Hey, you know, but the realization of the inner of himself, the Christ, fancy level, fancy.
Gautama became the Buddha. Thank you, Sensei. That's a great way to start the weekend. Thank you.
Okay. Start mine with a sip of wine here.
And Sensei, we're right at 8 o'clock. So
Thank you.
It's wine time.
Yes, wine time.
Thank you.
Now the other wine.
Oh, thanks for hanging out. I'm sorry I was a little bit all over, but so be it.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank
you so much.
Take care.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thanks, Bob.
Domo arigato.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
Hey, Bob Leichner. Missed him. Okay, good night, everyone.
I was just going to say, Lauren, it's Mike.
Hi,
So
Mike.
there'll be an hour change for us.
Next week. You start on Sunday, correct?
Oh yeah, sorry. So